Good morning and welcome back to it. The Now Morning Show continues with a little bit of inspiration for you, if you will. We have heard from the Children's Authority, understanding that, well, children's protection is everybody's concern. And our next guest will inspire you with women from our communities, persons we know, persons we can support, and persons who are a member of the IWFTT Inspirational Women Awards 2025. This morning we are joined by Anna-Maria Garcia-Brooks, the past chair and president of the International Women Awards. And we are also joined by Indira Couch, the president currently, as well as Maya Nanan, one of the recipients of the awards, who is joining us on Zoom this morning. Ladies, good morning and welcome to the Now.
Good morning. Great to be here.
Yes. It is a delight to have you because we can always use some inspiration. But more than anything, understand why these sorts of galas and inspirational awards are necessary to honor persons amongst us. To begin, though, Mrs. Anna-Maria Brooks Garcia. I'm making sure I get all these
That's
titles.
okay, you've got all the names in.
Give us a little bit of a summary, if you will, as to what exactly the institution is about, first and foremost. So we have context as to how we decide to honor these particular women as well.
So the International Women's Forum Trinidad and Tobago is part of the wider International Women's Forum. And Indira is our president. Indira can speak very eloquently on both of those. And one of the objectives is the empowerment of women and the advancement of women leaders. And when we decided to introduce the Inspirational Women Awards 4 years ago, that was one of our major objectives, because we recognize that there are so many phenomenal women in Trinidad and Tobago who are doing wonderful, wonderful work that's impacting communities and impacting us nationally, and many of them go unnoticed. So we introduced this, and we also recognize that when we can look at the fabulous work that people do, it forms an inspiration for us. So other young girls, and not even only girls, but young men, boys, anyone looking at what women have been able to achieve can say, but you know, I could do that. Why can't I do that as well? And it forms a great inspiration for them to progress. So that was really the genesis of these awards, and recognizing them, giving them national recognition so that it could propel them forward, but also encourage others to come on board.
Right. Now, speaking of others coming on board, Indira, as she rightfully said, people seeing this are going to be encouraged to come on board. Yeah. And so I'm wondering how you would decide to be a part of this sort of organization altogether.
Right.
We're all fantastic in our own right, but why this particular one?
So the International Women's Forum is a global community of women, and the International Women's Forum of Trinidad and Tobago, we are a forum where I think we're probably at maybe 37 countries right now across the world. So we're a global community of women, and we stand behind a particular cause. And that cause, as Anna-Maria said, is advancing women's leadership today and tomorrow. So it's not just about today, it's really very future focused, because this organization started about 51 years ago. So in 1974, in New York, there was a woman called Ellie Guggenheimer, and she realized that at that moment that we were breaking ceilings. We were having to break these glass ceilings, right? And how could we do that? And we actually stand behind three things. Connection, that's our currency, because we connect with like-minded women, and we support each other, and we carry each other along. We catalyze, which is we actually look at empowering other women, bringing other women along. And the third part of our strategy is celebrating. And as Anna-Maria said, celebrating and being inspired by women who have blazed huge trails and have done formidable things, and that we can learn from them and be inspired by them.
Before we talk to one of those women, tell me a little bit about the criteria on which you choose the women that will be honored. I imagine each year it may vary because there are different categories or different areas of focus. But in terms of this year's recipients, can you give me some insights on how they were selected?
Sure. So I'm actually part of the Inspirational Women Awards Committee, as well as part of the planning committee. And we actually had an evaluation committee. So it's quite a rigorous process. So let's just say that we had many nominations. I think this year we had over 23 nominations, and we have 3 categories. This year we have, well, last year we had an additional one, but this year we have 3. So we have the Inspirational Champion of Women, the Inspirational Advocate, and the Inspirational Emerging Leader.
Okay. This year, the emerging leader is joining us in the conversation. So before I speak to Maya, tell me what is the definition of who would fit the bill to be an emerging leader?
So an emerging leader is a younger woman who has basically championed a cause and has done, you know, bold things, has been able to advocate, has been able to make a change, a transformational, that the impact is transformational.
Well, she definitely fits the bill, so let me just join in with Maya Nanan. She is the founder and director of the Autism Siblings and Friends Network and began her advocacy at the tender age of 12. Good morning, Maya, and welcome to the Now Again.
Good morning.
Congratulations, first and foremost, because I know this honor had some distinction behind it. But tell me, what was your initial feeling, your initial thoughts when you were told that you were going to be honored in this way?
Honestly, I was like, wow, where did they find me from? Because I did not nominate myself for this award. And you know, and I remember liaising with Lisa. She was the initial person who called, and I was like, oh wow. And then she just started sending WhatsApp, and I was like, are you sure this is for me? Are you sure you're not mixing me up with someone else? So it was just, it was really humbling at the beginning, and you know, later getting to learn about the work of their NGO and so on.
I imagine it would help to, as we've been saying all morning, inspire. But you have been doing this because, of course, autism is dear and near to you, having a brother who's autistic. You, however, given this honor, have certainly transformed the spaces in which you exist. So tell me how you think this is going to help you to continue to do that, because it absolutely will.
Yeah, for sure. So receiving this award to me is more than a personal achievement. It represents the voices and the stories of the women who have actually paved the way for me to be able to break barriers. Today, of course, you know, and I mean, I continue to break barriers for them. For example, my aunt, Dr. Radhika Mehes, she's my mentor, and I've seen her struggle because she has her own autism organization. And I still see the struggle that she faces in a society like today, where you would think that, you know, we've advanced, but really it's still so many red tapes and barriers. So to me, this award is really to remember women, especially young women, and to just remind them that they have the power to lead change, even in spaces where they are overlooked. You know, for my young age, I've actually been called bossy and condescending, and if that's what it means to be a strong woman, then so be it. And yeah, it's deeply, it's really impacted. It's rooted in my work, for example, with regards to inclusion and service. And if it means contributing to a larger society of women breaking barriers and redefining leadership for them, then yeah, let's do it.
That's the spirit. You definitely want to keep that up because the work has just begun. But I know that you have the support of thousands of women through the network. So congratulations again, Maya. And I really appreciate you giving us some insight. If though we wanted to connect with you otherwise, how can we find you and your organization specifically?
Yeah, so I am on I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and you can reach out to the organization at Support Autism TNT. You know, we're really active on social media, and we also have Rahul's Clubhouse, which is an autism center. I named it after my brother Rahul. It was created 3 years ago to create opportunities for those with autism at a nominal or no cost at all. So that number as well is 346-3228. But once you find us on social media, on Instagram or Facebook, you would see all our contact information.
Fantastic. keep doing what you're doing, and we will check in with you occasionally, because I know the work is not done. And I definitely know the support continues, as you guys are emphatically nodding in studio when she speaks, talking about not just the challenges that she's faced and overcome, but the ways that she's inspiring, as you rightfully put it, both men and women, because she's impacting society as a whole. Now, there are other honorees, some of whom, well, we won't have the chance to chat with this morning, but granted that the categories may, you mentioned, change year to year. There was one before, this year we only have 3. If there's criteria that we can share with persons that we particularly observe amongst ourselves, perhaps we might have more than 24 nominations next time around. And Maria, could you give me some insight into perhaps what dictates the Champion of Women Award recipient?
The Champion of Women Award, and this year it's Dr. Catherine Minto-Bain who will be receiving that award. And we look at the work that they do in championing women's causes. So the champion of women, not just a champion, inspirational champion, but champion of women and women's causes, and how they use their voice and how they use the work that they do, how they use their time to champion what is required to open doors for women, to break ceilings, to move things away so that they can move forward. And Dr. Bain has done that. Catherine Minto-Bain has done that for many, many years. She's a fertility specialist, as you may know, and through the work that she does, through her company, they have brought 3,500 babies into the world who may not have come into the world, you know, otherwise. So, and of course, helped families. So it's really phenomenal work. And again, those things fly under the radar, because unless you require the services of an organization like that, you're not really thinking, you're not really thinking about that. So she has done that. The Inspirational Advocate is a phenomenal woman. When I read all the work that she did, I was totally blown away. That is Suzanne Lacan-Batiste, and she's with Nature Seekers. She's a founding member, actually, of Nature Seekers. But the specific work that we focused on, and that, you know, in the nomination that came from the members who submitted that nomination, had to do with the preservation and the turtles in Matura in particular. So, because Susan is from that Matura community, and she saw what was happening with those turtles. They were hunted for their meat. It was horrible. And she and a group of others in the community got together and decided that cannot happen. So they have advocated for change. They've advocated for legislation change. They continue to do that. They set up nightly watches on the beach. They would walk the beach to prevent poachers from going after these turtles. And I read that Susan was actually physically attacked by poachers in the past. Now that is a strong woman.
Absolutely.
And she will continue to do what she has to do in spite of all of those things, you know? So they started the data collection on turtles, the tagging of the turtles, the monitoring of the hatchlings. That little group did all of that. And Susan is at the helm of that group.
Iconic, absolutely necessary and well-deserved. I can understand and share your sentiments. And I know you're being with pride in terms of making sure that this gala comes off without a hitch and honoring these women being a very special thing. How do we become a part of the event itself? Is it open to John public to be inspired?
It is very much open to John public. It's actually taking place on Tuesday, the 30th of September. At the Hyatt Regency in Port of Spain, and it starts at 6 o'clock with a welcome reception, and goes on with the awards at 7, promptly at 7, and followed by dinner. And we do have an after party afterwards.
She's reminding you. And dancing.
And well, the after party. So we love to dance at IWFTT.
And celebrating is one of your pillars.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
you must. Now, persons, though, because of the women that are, the caliber of women, rather, that have been honored, are interested in nominating or even becoming a part of the organizations internationally, locally. How can we do that?
So we're actually a membership organization, and our members actually nominate women to join.
Right.
And so it's actually a process. So they're nominated, and obviously they have to go through. Yes, of course, as anything.
Criteria.
Yeah.
And in terms of new members, perhaps, can we do that registration or joining following finding you anywhere online or anything of sort to connect otherwise?
Right. Well, so because we're members, it's our members that actually nominate members. Yeah. So it's a nomination, basically. Yeah.
Fine things.
So, yeah.
And in terms of that gala, we have time to get tickets, we
You
have
do.
time to get outfits. Where can we do that?
Well, I can't tell you where to get the outfits, but I can tell you where to get the tickets. The tickets are available through any of our members. We can give you our numbers. People can call us. They're very reasonably priced at $800.
Yeah.
For a gala of that caliber, there's no way you can do that for $800.
Yes.
And I will go into the tickets. You can get me at 620-2515. I respond very easily to WhatsApp. Not so much the phone, same with Indira. And Indira can give her number.
Yeah, so mine is 398-8277.
So they can get tickets through us and any member that they may know as well. And we've been very fortunate in the last 4 years to get some phenomenal sponsors. And we've had some sponsors who have stayed with us the entire course so far. We're young yet, but we intend to grow much further. And RFHL Group, FC, and this year Flow have come on as our diamond sponsors, our top tier sponsors. And we've got a list of lots of other sponsors. JMB Bank, all the banks have come on literally. So JMB Bank has come on, Scotia, RBC, Massey has come on. So all the big names and what we recognize that they recognize the importance of women and the work that women do. And when you look at many of these organizations, they promote the advancement of women. They live it. So you look at their top tier and they're there. The women are there and they are having an impact. They have a voice. And that is so important. You know, so we have other organizations, I don't want to forget any of them. Scotia, SN Golding, Trinidad, very important. They've been in there from day one, and they continue to be there. Kenson Group have been in there from day one as well. National Flour Mills, Grant Thornton, TSTT, and BPTT.
Fantastic.
So fabulous organizations.
Definitely something to be part of. But if you were to leave a final thought, if you will, to someone looking on, perhaps thinking of an inspirational woman or being an inspirational woman, what would that message be?
That message would be that we don't achieve anything by ourselves. That there are always people who help us, whether they're informal or formal mentors. Many of the times they are women. And that our responsibility as leaders would be to pull that next generation up with us. Sometimes we need to push them, sometimes we need to pull them, but we lead by our example, not just by what we say. We have to lead by how we live it. And that would be my message to them. You can be inspirational.
Absolutely. On that note, we're going to wrap things up. Congratulations again to all of the recipients. And of course, thank you very much for doing the work that you do, for joining us this morning to let us know that it's happening, and for celebrating women much like yourself. We truly appreciate it. Of course, guys, you can celebrate everything with us here on the Now Morning Show because we do have more after these messages, so stick around. We'll be back.